You're at a party having a great conversation. You think everything is going great, when suddenly they make a flimsy excuse to ditch you and run off.
John.
I need to go to bed.
John.
Or maybe you're giving a presentation at work. You think you're making great points, but everyone in the room looks bored, and they won't even make eye contact with you.
You wouldn't want my life to get boring, would you?
What's going on? Is it bad breath? Food stuck in your teeth? Why are people reacting like this? The reality is, you might be creeping people out and not even know it.
Oh my God.
We've all been creeped out. We all know what it feels like, which is why we would generally think we would know if we were being creepy. But nothing could be further from the truth. Researchers have found that most of the time, we don't know when we're being creepy.
Not me, not here.
And the list of people's creepiest habits includes things almost all of us do at some time. So even if you think you're a creepy person, you should be aware of the things that creep people out. In this video, we're going to go over the 10 biggest things that make you seem creepy. But first, we need to answer a question. What exactly is creepy? Creepiness is about uncertainty. We are creeped out when we don't know if we should be afraid of something. Think about it. A mugger holding a knife in your face isn't creepy. It's an obvious threat. You're not creeped out by it, you're just scared. But a person passing you on a dark street with their hands in their pockets, or a stranger staring at you from across a room, now that's creepy. We're creeped out when we're not sure if there's a danger or not. As humans, we have evolved reactions that are designed to alert us to danger.
Between ourselves, I think Master Luke is in considerable danger.
Psychologists call some of these agency detection mechanisms. Let's say you're camping and you hear a shuffling noise outside your tent. It might be nothing, but you're instantly going to act as if there's danger. You'll grab your flashlight and look around. Or maybe you'll zip your sleeping bag up tight and hide. If you're wrong, if there's nothing there, there's not much cost to being wrong. But if the danger turned out to be real, there could be a huge price for not reacting to it early. So we have evolved to act to uncertainty as if it were danger. And when that uncertainty has to do with a person, that person seems creepy. In a groundbreaking study in 2016, psychologists discovered that most of the time, most people don't know it when they're being creepy. So let's look at 10 things that science says makes us look creepy. Chances are, you yourself have done at least a few of these things. You might think that by standing close to someone, you're being friendly and making things more intimate. But if that person isn't on your wavelength, you're just creeping them out. When you stand closer to someone than is normal in a social situation, they instinctively wonder what your motives are. You might not think you're about to grab them and run off, but that's the idea crossing the back of their mind. You might be licking your lips because they're chapped, or because it's a nervous tic, but in certain situations, it can send off very wrong signals. Licking your lips while making eye contact can often come off as a sexual come-on. You know what I mean. Plus, licking your lips is the international animal symbol for "I'm hungry and about to feast." So even if it doesn't look sexual, licking your lips can make you look like a predator. If you have a tendency to have dry lips, carry some chapstick with you. Research shows that people who have greasy, messy hair or dirty clothes are seen as creepy. Now you might be thinking, what's wrong with greasy hair? I like my style. But the problem is, for some people, it's an almost unconscious sign that you're unpredictable. The same goes for dirty clothes, which frankly shouldn't be part of anyone's style. And as you've probably noticed, not all smiles are created equal. There's a happy surprise smile, a satisfied smirk, and of course, the devilish up-to-no-good smile. The problem is, you might not always know how the smile you're showing is being interpreted. If you get the sense people are put off when you smile, take a look in the mirror and see what that smile looks like. Maybe you can find one that doesn't make you look quite so. Researchers say that staring at someone before going up to talk to them is one of the creepiest behaviors you can engage in. Now, you might have a perfectly good reason for staring. You might be gathering up courage to talk to them, or maybe seeing them made you remember something important. But the fact is, when you stare at someone before talking to them, it looks like you're sizing them up, like you're planning, maybe to pull something over on them. This is an easy habit to break. If you're thinking of talking to someone, just don't stare at them when you're thinking it over. Try maybe staring at your shoes. Obsession is creepy. When people are obsessed, they can sometimes act in irrational and dangerous ways. So showing signs of obsession can make people suspicious. And if you're always bringing the conversation back to the same subject, you're going to look obsessed. Strangers who just met you shouldn't be able to tell what's always on your mind. And if they can, they'll be creeped out. That's especially true if you keep bringing the conversation back to sex. Now, don't get me wrong. Bringing up sex at the right time can be very effective when you're flirting. But you need to be sure you're flirting. If the person you're talking to isn't on that wavelength and you force sex into the conversation, you're going to creep them out. Don't bring up sex unless you're sure. Being overbearing in a conversation can come off as arrogant, but when you're not giving people a chance to get away, many see that as creepy. If you're talking constantly, and the only way someone can get out of the conversation is by being rude, they feel caged in.
It's a trap!
And on some level, they're wondering, why is this person trapping me? Creepiness quickly follows. You might think it's cool to show up to a casual party in a coat and tails, but to some people, you're acting creepy. Wearing wild and different clothes can be fun. It can help you assert your individuality. But in the wrong context, it makes people uncertain about you. Showing up overdressed or dressed in a way that's inappropriate for the occasion can make people think you're too willing to break social conventions. And if you're too willing to do this, what else might you be willing to do?
You wrong-faced, overdressed anarchist!
Laughing at the wrong time can be embarrassing, and it can creep people out. When you laugh at something that others don't find funny, they wonder what you're thinking. But sometimes laughing is a natural reaction to a stressful situation. If you have social anxiety, you might laugh at awkward times. But there are things you can do about it. When you feel the urge to laugh at the wrong time, try something like pinching yourself or counting down from 100 until the urge passes. And if you don't know what it is that makes you laugh at the wrong time, stop to think about it. Do you laugh out of nervousness? Are you maybe coping with emotional pain? There is a reason, and often you can find it by thinking carefully. And there are, of course, many other things that can creep people out. Some of them are things you can't do much about. For instance, many people say they find long, thin fingers to be creepy. And of course, what creeps one person out isn't the same as what creeps another person out. So there may not be any way to always avoid being creepy. But with a little self-awareness, you can keep the creep factor to a minimum.